What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best players in each position. I've got a few squads set up with goalkeepers, fullbacks, defenders, wingers, midfielders and strikers. And to start off, we've gone with my top goalkeepers. We've got a few options in every single one, and the goalkeepers, these are my favourite of the bunch. Obviously, two of them, which I don't normally like to include, but I do think they are relevant to this, are my favourite goalkeepers. The ones I've used in the past couple of weeks, and obviously my main goalkeeper from Champs. The best one out of the bunch for me is always going to be Van der Sar, coming in just shy of 1 million coins now. But with Van der Sar, I feel like he was very dominant once he came out because we didn't have the likes of any team of the seasons, and not even the footballers, I believe, were out just yet. So it is interesting to see how we've progressed. Yashin always been a fan favourite from the kind of start. Most FIFAs, it kind of started off just being the hat, really, of anything. Czech came in with his helmet, and obviously it was always a fan favourite. With Yashin being the only goalkeeper Ballon d'Or winner, it always associated that with being very good in FIFA. Courtois, again, another great one, but personally, these are my favourite keepers coming in at a range of prices. Obviously, the icons are a little bit more expensive. Ter Stegen this week has definitely captivated a different kind of side to La Liga, rather than just going with a standard team of the year. Kobel was good in the Bundesliga. I feel like he's a very solid choice for very, very cheap. There is obviously a long list of keepers, and we have done a tier list yesterday for it if you want to check that one out. I'd like to tell you about skycoach.gg. They offer many features within the FIFA franchise, from FIFA coins to FIFA Weekend League boosts, from trusted sellers, pro players, and are the best prices on the market currently. They have fast delivery, high quality services, lots of games, and also a cashback program. The more coins you buy, the more eligible you are for cashback options. So if you want to buy FIFA coins at the best price, click the link in the description of this video. It will be active promo code for 10% discount from my subscribers. All you have to use is the code JT11 at the checkout to receive this bonus. On to the video. If then we have a look at the fullbacks, again we've gone right back and left back in this, so we've got a fair few to go through. In terms of the right backs, Hakimi's always been a standard. Whether he gets a team of the season or a moments will be very interesting, but I do stand that he's one of my favourite right backs of the year. We then go to the icon, obviously Cafu. Carlos Alberto is there, but personally for me, a better option as a centre-back, as he does have an alternative position, but Cafu has always been a fan favourite from the very start. Molino most definitely is another option that you can go for from this week. Very, very cheap and has some very good stats going into this. Navas as a free option if you do decide to give up on the packs, and obviously go for Navas himself. A solid right back, but I always kind of thought with him, you're going to get a right back in La Liga team of the season that is going to be of the same sort of quality. As we can see stat-wise, very, very similar. Frimpong, cheap and easy, 235, nice right back, great pace. Personally, he's never been my fan favourite, but I have definitely seen him a lot of the time in the FUT Champs now, especially if you do have a lot of the Bundesliga team of the season, or obviously Dutch players. He does come in as, again, another fan favourite. Reece James is currently my right back and definitely doing an absolute wonder there. I would kind of like to upgrade him now. Like I say, there is a few options that you can go for, and it all depends mainly on what your team is actually like. And I think a big one that is probably missed out purely for the fact it is an alternative position is Kounde. I do like him as a centre-back, and most definitely if I've not necessarily got your Maldinis, your Virgils, your Ruben Diaz's, then he's definitely going to get in as a centre-back, but most definitely an option at a right-back as well. 5'11", so not too tall for the right-back, but not too tall for a centre-back, not too short for a centre-back as well. He has got that versatility if you was lucky enough to get him this time. With the left-backs, always got to go with them team of the years. They are one of the best from each. We haven't seen a team of the season from Serie A just yet, so it will be interesting to see where Theo fits in there, because most definitely if he does get a team of the season, it could be a nice card that's upgraded from the team of the year. More than likely, it probably would be the same sort of rating. We then have Roberto Carlos. We have Roberto Carlos as a trophy titan. One that's probably mixed out, because personally my fan favourite is always going to be Capdevila. 1.1 mil and incredible from his fantasy foot all the way to his World Cup. He is a standard left back that has just changed the left back this year. From Ferland Mendy to Capdevila, he is absolutely sensational. But we also do have the other side of the Bundesliga now with obviously Alphonso Davies. Great pace, great kind of wing play. I feel like Frimpong and Davies very much emulate that left wing back, right wing back role, which is perfect if you are playing a 5-back. It is known now to be one of the formations that a lot of people play, and it is going to be absolutely perfect for cards like that. We then also have some players down here with Alex Bolde. Not necessarily my fan favourite for me, but he does the job. He's got great pace on him. Again, very much wing-back sort of role, bar from not necessarily having the most amount of shooting, which if you as Alfonso has a somewhat option. He's not going to be scoring every single time, but he has got that little bit in his locker. Whereas without Alex Bolde is more on your dribbling side / the passing. And then finally, probably one of my favourite left backs in the Prem is going to be Zinchenko. Loved his FUT birthday, and I think again his team of the season absolutely emulates what he's achieved so far. Now onto the list of centre backs that is just absolutely massive and grows every single week. From Laporte last week, 2 weeks ago now, obviously from the Prem, an incredible centre back that was very, very cheap to get done. Obviously with SBCs, unfortunately they have finished, but if you did manage to get him, you've chosen a good option. Carlos Alberto, like I said, in terms of what he was as a right back last year, now we've got the alternative to put him at centre back. If you've managed to get him from an icon pack, managed to get him as an SBC, then he is absolutely in role for a good centre back that will definitely last you most of FIFA. We then see Vidic having a great upgrade from his normal prime to the team of the year. One of the greatest features I think they've added this year is adding a new element to these icons / heroes. FUT birthday, trophy titan, team of the year, obviously have been absolutely sensational and really emulated what icons should be. They should be relevant in the certain areas. We've always seen your Maldinis, the start of the game, Cannavaros, Desais, Blancs, but once we get to the primes, your Baresi, your Nesta, your Vidic, your Bobby Moore, nowhere. Now we've actually got a card that is usable. I'm not saying he's the best, but most definitely puts up a fight against some of these. In terms of Prem team of the season, I think we had a star-studded selection. From Laporte, Saliba, Ake in community, Varane, Ruben Diaz. There's a lot of options that you could mix any of these centre-backs together, and predominantly most of them would be endgame. Varane and Ruben Diaz are definitely my favourite two personally, but Ake for 190k is most definitely not a player that you should be kind of snuffing your nose up at. I had to throw Ramos in here. He obviously was an SBC a long time ago, but still so consistent. And if we do manage to get another SBC and moments from Ramos, honestly, that would be absolutely scary because this card already is crazy. It's why I'm thinking they're probably going to leave him this time round, but most definitely another option that was absolutely insane. Arejo from community, now looking incredible with obviously the La Liga team of the seasons because we have Militao now. Obviously, Kayonde was in that left back, right back role, so I thought we don't want to put him back again, as obviously we've already touched on him. And again, Maldini. FUT birthday Maldini, you couldn't get any better. His prime, his mid, his FUT birthday, all of them are endgame and all of them are just sensational. And then we have Virgil. Luckily, he did manage to get team of the year because he wasn't getting team of the season. It just wasn't happening. So the fact we've still got a very endgame Virgil from a long time ago now, impeccable. And then finally finishing on De Ligt. A great upgrade. I feel like this is one that we've been waiting for a while. From his one to watch that didn't really get upgraded a great deal in the span of these 5-6 months. It's nice to see an absolutely boss De Ligt in this game now. Now we do have a lot of midfielders in this, so bear with me. We've gone from CDM to CM to CAMs. All of the positions in the mid that you have definitely seen this week. Simons, one of the outside choices, to be honest. I feel like more than anything is a super sub unless you are rocking a very heavy Dutch team, but still very sensational in that sort of cam role. We have Llorente, who is, again, a right mid, which a little bit unfortunate, but he does have the alternative positions for a centre mid or right back. So the alternative positions have really come in clutch this year. But look at them stats. 4-star, 4-star, great stats throughout on the card, and genuinely one that can really put up some numbers with obviously the rest of them. I have put Guerrero in here, so if you've already typed a comment out saying where is he in the left back, Centre mid Guerrero is an absolute baller. Has got the alternative position for it. Left mid, left back, left wing back, and centre mid. And the stats are screaming in that middle of the park. Valverde, incredible. Look at the pace on a centre mid. 94 with all of the stats provided. 960 is actually a really good price for him. Hopefully we can get lucky in the La Liga guaranteed and the rest of the week through rival rewards. There is some very good centre mids in La Liga and has been across the board. Hullet, we don't really need to touch on him too much because we know how good Hullet is. Team of the year, sensational. Bernardo Silva, community, obviously, very, very dribbling based, and I do like him as that cam. If you are still playing either a Lam, Ram, or the centre, I feel like he can definitely offer the option there with this massive boost, obviously from his pace. His dribbling's gone up exponentially, and obviously has got a great amount of passing. He just needs somebody who is very secure in the manner of the physicality side of stuff, as that is something that is lacking with the card. Pedri most definitely had a massive upgrade again. Foot Birthday already had an SBC that was 91, but this version again at a 5.5, 95 rated will definitely be that lovely box to box if you don't already have that top end. And I feel like he's very much in the realms of a KDB sort of card. Obviously, KDB unfortunately doesn't have the 5.5, but he is effortless going forward. He is just one of them cards that just works. Sometimes the stats don't look amazing, like even the pace side of stuff. We compare the kind of differences. Obviously, KDB rocks a lot more shooting, whereas obviously Pedri has the more pace. Valverde has more of the pace, but KDB is effortless going forward and 100% a great shout for anybody. He's at 1.3, and obviously Pedri is still the team of the season right now, so we could see a drop in him once obviously we get into the guaranteed, but I can see where they're coming from with that. Musiala, another cracking 97 cam from the Bundes. Beautiful card. Very much like a Bernardo. Great dribbling aspect of him. Obviously has a little bit more pace side of him and is a 5-star, 4-star, which obviously one-ups Bernardo Silva. But it does equal the kind of bonus. Who would you go for? A 97 Musiala or a 97 Zidane? Obviously with Zidane he does have the 5.5. Comes in at a massive price, an extra 1.4 mil, and obviously if you're already using his mid, you know how good Zidane actually is. We then move on to the proper team with Modric, another one that for me is good but not necessarily what I'd go and spend a million coins on. Hence why obviously the price is that little bit lower. Still a 4-star, 5-star. If you have got yourself a Vieira, a Kimmich, a solid CDM, you can almost put that point off that you don't need him to defend as long as he's kind of somewhat there. He's got the pass off too. Obviously your CDM's going to do a lot of the work. Same way, well, to be honest, Yaya Toure would work really well. Tall old unit, very, very good going forward, even though the stats don't really scream that much. You look at him to any team of the season, stats don't really affect him that much. He genuinely is just in-game ability, very much like Vieira, very much like Hullet. Tall, strong, always got a great imposure on the ball, and obviously has got a little bit of pace with obviously a chem style. The one that I was gutted that came out with obviously the massive pack, I think, was it the 83 times 25 or 84 times 25? Caicedo looks like he should be an absolute baller in that CDM role. If you did obviously choose him, maybe you didn't have a CDM that really kind of went for it. But unfortunately, when it comes to picking between a card and packs during team of the season, if we don't get the CDM we want this week, there's always going to be a next week and a next week and a next week. There's 6 weeks of high-end cards that more than likely you'll get a CDM. Personally for me, Palhinha, who obviously was an objective himself, could have got him for free if obviously you did it. And even though the stats are not necessarily at Caicedo's level, you go with a shadow, you end up with 88 pace. You've already then got 97, 96 defending alongside the physical. There's not much more you need. I'd rather go for 25 players over one and then just stick with a lesser version of him. It's just my opinion. Benazir, though, a great centre mid. If you have got him already, he's going to be a great addition in that Serie A team of the season. Very well balanced, a lovely upgrade again. The only thing I think we had the problem with was the fact he did have a fantasy foot not too long ago, which was at almost the same sort of level. Moving over to Vieira then, some star-studded icons, obviously Hullet, Zidane, obviously Vieira, Matthias, all of them are impeccable going forward and obviously defending at the same time. Matthias is one of them annoying ones because he can go centre-back as well. So if someone's playing almost a 5-back and one of the centre-back pushes out that little bit more, Matthias is going to do that role absolutely brilliantly. And now coming under 2 mil, which is scary to think, to be honest. Casemiro been put in here. I don't think he's top of the top, don't get me wrong. But again, for an 88k card, it's not terrible. If you're still struggling for that CDM to hold it, obviously you have got Kimmich the other side with a little bit more on that price, but Casemiro holds his own. He's had a great pace increase from obviously previous cards, physicality's there, obviously you can go with a shadow with him, and he's going to get the job done every single time. Plus obviously some great links to Prem and also to Brazil. Finishing off then with the kind of Bundesliga boys, we always get a Kimmich and Goretzka, and this year it did not disappoint again. Goretzka coming in at the moments, again, look at them stats. 90 plus on everything, looks amazing. Then we have Bellingham, who again just solidifies why Bellingham's team of the season, team of the year is always outstanding. A 4-star, 5-star, 90 on everything, is coming in at a hefty price, but he is one that definitely would stay in the team for a long time. So then we move on to some of the wingers. Obviously with Alwaran, with Saka, Rafinha, Jairzinho and Rodrigo, it's just incredible to see how many wingers we've got that could replace each other. Obviously there's a few that I would say, for instance, if I went with right wing as the example, I would take Salah, Messi, even a Georgie Best, Jairzinho over Saka, Alwaran and Rafinha all day of the week. But if you haven't got, how much are we looking at? 3.8, we're looking at 3.8 and also 1.7 compared to, as for instance, Saka at 400, Alwaran at, wow, okay, 2.2 mil, Jesus, bit of a massive price there. And obviously 366 for Rafinha, 1.5 for Rodrigo. Obviously Diaby again has a different element to a lot of them. He is very, very quick. Even though most of them have 90 plus, over the 95 pace most of the time, they all feel fast in different ways. Sometimes it's the dribbling, sometimes it's literally the burst of pace, the double flick with the analog, and they absolutely fly. But every single one of these can be played pretty much to endgame level. There is no right or wrong answer. I personally find, especially when it gets into team of the season, it is all down to what your team links need. If you need an English player from Prem, then obviously you're going to go with someone like Saka. Obviously icons have 3 stars, so it doesn't really work for them. But in terms of the team of the seasons, it all matters on that. If, for instance, we wanted to go, we already had, say, Jairzinho foot birthday, we just packed Best. The brilliant thing for him, alternative position as left wing. There is a lot of solid options in the right wing. Personally, my fan favourite at the minute is going to be Salah. Incredible, but I have seen Rodrigo absolutely rip it up down the wing as well. Left midwise or left wing, again star-studded with Carrasco being a free objective, thought I'd throw him in here. Martinelli being the lesser of everybody, but coming in at 300,000 coins with an incredible amount of pace. We did manage to get him red, which obviously was a big decider for who goes left wing and who goes right wing. But then also we do have Royce in SBC. Personally, for me, I've always preferred Royce as a cam, but he definitely still has that upgraded ability to go down that left wing and do an absolute job every single time. And hopefully, he does win the league this year. Then we have the 3 that are undisputedly the best left wings in the game. Vinicius Jr. coming in at 5.9, Rashford at 4.9, and Ronaldinho, who is pretty much extinct most of the time, at 10 to 15 mil. All of them offer everything the other offers. They're all quick, they've all got skills, and all of them can shoot. It is all down to who do you want pretty much the most. I think for me, Rashford as a cheap player, a cheaper player in comparison, extra mil compared to Vinny, and obviously Ronaldinho is extinct, so if you do manage to get him, then obviously you've got an absolute baller yourself, but also we do have prime Ronaldinho as an SBC. Whether you'd want to put the 4 mil into SBC fodder for him, or personally do what I'm doing and waiting until FUT is, as we're going to get all of these players back in packs. We'll get rewards every week for red picks. It will be very interesting to see how long it would take to get that card done out of team of the season, but that is something, that card is there until literally end of July, so we've got so much time to get him done. Personally, Vin is the only one you can get right now, as obviously Rashford has passed, but I think all of them are incredible. You could pick the selection of these and have Carrasco left mid and go Saka right mid. They would offer just as good value as what you'd get for paying X amount for Rashford and say, for instance, for Rodrigo. They always have that pace, that dribbling, and obviously a good amount of shooting. So wingers at the moment, we've got an abundance of top end. And going from one abundance to the other, strikers come in their absolute millions. There is so many that are very good. One that I am disappointed with, and I've put him at the end here just because he was incredible during the Prem team of the season. I've used him a handful of times since into the La Liga. We've tried him in Rivals again, as obviously it was everywhere on YouTube, Twitter, that Harry Kane has been nerfed beyond belief. And I don't know how. I don't know why. They have just taken everything away from what we've seen with this Prem striker from the Prem Cup, from Rivals, from Foot Champs, and he just isn't the player anymore. I don't know why, and again, it's all down to conspiracies of EA nerfing cards, but he most definitely doesn't feel as good as when he did when he first came out. Whether that is a tactic of them, we'll never know. There's never going to be concrete proof of that ever happening. We do have Colo, again, another cheap option if you wanted a striker and can't afford the millions upon millions for your Ronaldos, your Mbappes, your Lewandowskis. Next to him, though, is a hefty price with him, though. Nkunku, incredible. 4.5 mil was very, very difficult to pack. We've managed to get one top player from every week so far, and obviously Nkunku was top of that list, and unfortunately we failed. We are still on for Team of the Season Griezmann though, 3.2 mil, and we've used him, and oh my god, he is perfect. He's got the balance of the pace, along with the physicality, the dribbling, the shooting. Stunning. There's all of these strikers. They're all absolutely stunning. Eusebio, Dalglish, Cruyff, R9. Obviously, we go a few up to Del P and Puskás alongside Pele. All of the icons are the top of the top. They are the 2, 3, 4% of icons you actually want to have in your team. The rest of them, you go for a Thierry Henry, you go for an Ian Wright, a Wayne Rooney. They're not at this level. This level is now for the millions upon millions of coins for strikers. Obviously, there is always a few. I think Lewandowski's dropped a little bit from 1.7 mil to 700. Benzema's now still a hefty price at 4. Son, I feel, yeah, it's even Son, 400,000 coins for a 94 player that would definitely be endgame still. You could still have Son in footies, you could still have him at the absolute end of the game, and he's not necessarily your 16 mil, your what we're looking at, 12 million striker, and he'd do the job absolutely fine. Ginola, 4.1, we already know Ginola, 5-star, 5-star, one of the better Prem strikers we've seen. Sanchez, I believe, yeah, 800,000 coins, not bad at all for a 95 rated card. Doesn't necessarily have the 4.5 or the 5.4, but most definitely will offer you great striking ability. Mane was the Bundesliga player that I've managed to pack. Started off not liking him, to be honest. I really thought he was very stat based, and then just in game he didn't feel what I was kind of expecting from him. But after using him now for a couple of Foot Champs, he's been brilliant. He is a super sub, unfortunately, as we have got Dalglish and Cruyff up front, who are both 5-star, 5-stars, and honestly, we've got Puskás, Cruyff, Dalglish, Mbappe. There's too many options now. If you've managed to get even like 3 or 4 of these, it's very hard to get everybody in the team. Obviously with CR7, so difficult to pack. There was very little red opportunity for him. Obviously the packs were pretty much revolved around the Major League. So to actually have got him, you've got to have been spending points. You've got to have been spending coins on the actual packs to be able to get him. And even then, one of the hardest players you're going to ever pack until, obviously, Liga actually happens. And then we get down to the top 4, top 3 strikers. Obviously, Benzema and Lewandowski are here from the La Liga team of the season. Benzema offers such a great striking ability. If you haven't seen the review on the channel, go check that out after this, because he is an absolute monster. Lewandowski is, again, we got him red. Incredible. Absolutely incredible striker. I'm only fearful of why I'm not pushing him heavily on you is the fact that Harry Kane was just as good and now is not. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to him, but we will see next week or the week after what actually happens. But then we have Mbappe and R9. two of the most elite strikers you're going to find. Trophy Titans, Prime or Mid, R9 will be endgame for the rest of the game 100% of the time. We have got Team of the Year Mbappe, but it has been confirmed today that Team of the Season is coming next week with, alongside Messi, so that should be a pairing that is going to destroy everybody. And that is going to be everybody. So let me know down below if there's any other players you are liking, any of your underrated GOATs. Let me know down below in the comments. Share the video on screen and make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.